Very good evening, students. Today we are going to discuss the modern concept of structure of atom, that is quantum mechanical model. And in this model we will study the wave particle duality. It is written here. It's a dual nature of the matter. So to overcome the shortcomings of Bohr model, to overcome the shortcomings of Bohr model, attempts were made to develop a more suitable and general model for an atom. And two important developments which contributed significantly in the formulation of the new model, means the earlier model which was found, there were some limitations, and to overcome those shortcomings there was a new model which was discovered. Although so many models are there, but there was a new model which was discovered, and that was related to dual nature of matter and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. But here we are going to discuss firstly that what is dual nature of matter, the wave nature of light. Firstly, it is written, it can explain the diffraction and interference phenomenon, and particle nature of light can explain photoelectric effect and scattering of light. So light has a dual nature, possessing the properties of both wave as well as particle. It is very well shown over here. The two experiments already you know. The photoelectric effect you have already studied. That will let you know the particle properties of the light. And then Davison-Germer experiment is there, that will let you know that wave properties of the electrons are there. So we are not going to discuss these experiments, but further we have to discuss the dual nature of matter, and under that we will discuss the de Broglie concept. Let's see what is that. You can see here there was a scientist named Einstein. The name of the scientist was Einstein, and he has suggested that light can behave as a wave as well as like particle. Both natures are there, means it has dual character. Duality means particle nature as well as wave nature, right? So de Broglie suggested that just as light accept wave and particle nature, wave nature and particle nature, if you say, then you will say that all microscopic materials, means which are very small in size, they such as electron, proton, atoms, molecule, they have also the dual character. I am talking about here electron. The electron is having the dual character, and they behave as particle as well as wave. It means electron, which has been regarded as particle, also behave like a wave. It's not a particle only, it is behaving like a wave also. Fine. So what de Broglie said? De Broglie proposed that waves can accept particle like behavior and particles should accept wave like behavior, vice versa. So he proposed that same relationship between wavelength and momentum should apply to massive particles as well as photon. So what he wants to convey here, that all material particles in motion possess wave character, and one expression is given by de Broglie, that is lambda is equal to h upon p, where what is p? P is momentum and it is equal to mv, where product of mass and velocity. So instead of writing this p, you can also write mv. Okay, so where h is a Planck's constant. So now we will discuss next the value for the Planck's constant is 6.626 multiplied 10 raised to power minus 34, and p is equal to mv. And after this de Broglie's equation was there, but how to derive this equation? We know according to Planck's quantum theory, E is equal to hv, and according to Einstein equation, E is equal to mc square. Just equate, give it number 1, give it number 2, just equate both of them. This equal to hv, this equal to mc square. So you will say h nu is equal to mc square. So you can write the value for nu here. This is hc by lambda is equal to mc square. You need to calculate the value for lambda. It will come out to be h c divided by mc square is equal to lambda, where c will be cancelled, so it will become lambda is equal to hmc. Understand? So this is the expression for de Broglie relation. Instead of writing c, you can write v also, that represents velocity of the particle. Understand? So de Broglie wavelength of the body is inversely proportional to its momentum. Yes, wavelength is inversely proportional to the momentum. Since the magnitude of h is very small, the wavelength of the object of our everyday world would be too small to be observed. Very important thing, de Broglie has dealt with only the microscopic particles, not with the macroscopic particles. Fine, this should be clear to you. Let's see what is next. Next is Heisenberg uncertainty principle, but before that I would like to mention here the significance of de Broglie relationship. Although dual nature of matter is applicable to all material objects, but it is significant for microscopic bodies only. For large bodies, the wavelength of associated waves very small and cannot be measured. Means if you talk about the large bodies na, then their wavelength will be very small, we cannot measure that. So it means de Broglie relationship is only valid for the small objects, only valid for the microscopic objects, not for the macroscopic objects. Understand? So if you talk about the wavelength of the electron, then it is 9.11, okay, and having mass 9.11, velocity 10 raised to power 6, okay, but the wavelength associated with the moving electron is of same order as a magnitude of X-rays, which can be easily measured. On the other hand, if you talk about a ball which is having mass, a ball is there whose mass is 10 gram, okay, this is macroscopic in nature. Then if you will use this relation h upon mv, that is a relation of de Broglie, then you will not be able to calculate the wavelength easily. You will not be able to calculate the wavelength easily, because in this case the mass will be very high and wavelength will be very small, and you will not be able to understand its value. Got it? So that's why it is valid only for microscopic objects, okay, because the wavelength is inversely proportional to mass, and if mass will be more, then lambda's value will be 0.00 something, that is very small, which cannot be measured at all. Now let's see, the next one is what is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So far we have been believing that anything can be specified to any desired degree of accuracy. Heisenberg uncertainty principle states it is not possible to determine simultaneously the exact position and exact momentum of the electron. इसने क्या बोला कि आप इलेक्ट्रॉन का एग्जैक्ट पोजीशन और उसी टाइम पे उसकी मास और वेलोसिटी के बारे में नहीं बता सकते हो. दिस हैज़ बीन एक्सप्लेन्ड बाय हेजनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिंसिपल. उसने मैथमेटिकल डेरिवेशन भी दी इसकी. डेल्टा एक्स रिप्रेजेंट करता है चेंज इन पोजीशन को, डेल्टा पे रिप्रेजेंट करता है change in momentum, that is greater than equal to h upon 4 pi, and where h is a Planck's constant. So here if you will put the value for p, that is equal to mv, okay, this one. So delta x multiply delta mv, h upon 4 pi, you just change it, delta m delta v, the m will just go in the denominator on the other side and you will get this expression. So this principle therefore ruled the Bohr's picture of fixed orbits, because बोहर ने क्या बोला था कि हम जो मास एंड वेलोसिटी है, तो वो मास तो उसने बताया इलेक्ट्रॉन का, फिर उसने ये बोला कि वो तो एनर्जी भी कैलकुलेट कर सकता है, लेकिन ये प्रिंसिपल ये कहता है कि आप एक ही टाइम पे उसकी पोजीशन और उसके मास वेलोसिटी के बारे में नहीं बता सकते. तो दिस प्रिंसिपल देयरफॉर ओवर रूल्ड द बोहर्स पिक्चर ऑफ फिक्स्ड ऑर्बिट्स. अंडरस्टैंड? So position and velocity of an object cannot be simultaneously known with accuracy.